DG's only 24. And he's only a year younger. So I still think. Halliburton's gonna be 25 in February. He's still 24.
Right.
How old is? He might be like the same exact age as Darius Garland, because isn't Darius' birthday coming up? Yeah, Darius turns 25. Darius is older.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. They're not.
No, I get what you're saying.
Like they're not.
Well, Halliburton.
It's not like
You still could. He could still improve quite a bit in the next couple of years. Like it's not always linear, but like usually guys hit their prime around 27, 28. Not everyone.
Yeah.
There's certain players who hit their prime earlier.
And then there's some guys who hit their prime at like 21, and then they kind of just are still in their prime at 37, 38.
Oh, yeah.
Not in their prime anymore, but, I hope that Luka's back for the Cavs game. The Cavs game, when he's in Cleveland, that's like one of the most fun games of the whole season. With all the...
Wait, do they play Dallas again?
They play in February.
Really?
Yeah, they play home.
Why did I think we played them twice already? I don't know why I thought we played them at home already.
We played some bad Western Conference teams, so that's probably what you're thinking of.
It might just be because we've watched a lot of Mavs games on this stream. It's kind of funny. We always end up watching them.
The second
one?
They
do play February 2nd.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we watched a handful of them. Yeah, like 2 or 3 at least. So maybe that's why I got it mixed up.
I was looking at other games tonight. There's maybe the worst slate of NBA games.
Let me look at these.
Did you take a look?
We got Suns, Hornets. Suns
Yikes.
are down by 8. It's not good.
Yikes! We may need to watch
Wizards,
that.
Rockets. Hey, the Wizards are up by 5 against the Rockets.
That's
going
bad.
into halftime. We got Lakers, Mavs, which is what we're watching. Timberwolves, Pelicans, not fun. Hawks, Jazz, not too much fun. Celtics, Nuggets is fun. If it's competitive, we'll see.
We'll be asleep.
And then Heat, Warriors, not fun. Could have been fun a month and a half ago, but neither one of those things is very fun anymore. Yeah, well, the Heat obviously are completely melting down, and the Warriors kind of stink as well. They've really fallen apart. I'm kind of shocked how bad they've become, but at the same time, I did say they weren't going to be a good team this year, and I've been justified. So,
Dan,
they were ranked so high on some of the power rankings before the season. They were ranked ahead of the Cavs in one of the. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I'm trying to time it right, and I interrupted you again.
I'm just trying to acknowledge Dan. He's right. If they didn't suspend Jimmy, it would have been fun. You don't know if Jimmy would have turned his jersey inside out and started playing for the Warriors.
Yeah,
there were endless opportunities. So
hopefully they trade him soon and just get that whole saga over with already.
Anybody who trades for Jimmy Butler is out of their mind.
Yeah. Well, I was looking at when I did one of these solo streams, I was reading I think it was CBS Sports, just the top 5 landing destinations for Jimmy. They had the Knicks at 4th. I was like, why on earth would New York trade for Jimmy Butler? That would be the dumbest move they could possibly make.
I don't think they have any contracts that would really.
Yeah, I don't even know how they would do it, or even why would you even want?
The contracts you'd have to trade would be way more valuable. You'd probably have to trade OG and somebody else.
They would be one of the last teams I would say should trade for Jimmy Butler.
Well,
they also had Denver on there, which it's
honestly, Denver just needs something.
York, but yeah, it's better than New York. But I don't know how well Jimmy fits with Jokic because he can't space the floor. You don't want to take the ball out of Jokic's hands, so I don't know. It's weird.
I think that Jokic can fit with anybody except for people who really, really suck, his teammates. So I think Jamal Murray, not good.
He's been pretty bad. I think the team that trades for Jimmy should be a team that's just very desperate, like the Lakers or the Warriors, like these teams that are at the end of their road, basically, where it's you're hoping to take one more swing on something and you don't really care about the longevity of it. Like the Lakers understand you get maybe 1, 2, 3 more years LeBron. Who knows? Maybe we get another decade for all we know. But Like, you don't really care if you swing for Jimmy Butler and it misses because you just have to do something. Same with the Warriors. Any younger team, I don't see why you would really make the Jimmy Butler swing.
The problem is you have to extend him right away.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's why he quit. So you can't just trade for him and then say, well, we're actually not going to pay you. Ooh, that was a LeBron heat check. That was Ty Jerome-esque.
It wasn't great.
Yikes.
At least he was close to the 3-point line. At least he didn't.
He wasn't close to the rim.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen the Grizzlies floated out as a team that could
terrible.
That could go for him. Not sure I see it. I've seen people say the Pistons as well, but why? You know, like, why? What are you aiming for if you're the Pistons and you trade for Jimmy Butler? I guess it guarantees you make the playoffs probably, which could be good for the development of the young guys, but at what cost? I don't know.
Yeah, but it would start.
It's not a very attractive trade.
JB
asset.
Getting fired faster though. So
yeah. Oh yeah, that was something we mentioned. We were like, the Jimmy JB. I don't think that chemistry is going to work very well.
The Pistons losing in the playoffs was more so what I was saying.
Yeah, well, even so, Jimmy and JB might not be a good combination, player coach wise.
Honestly, I think that they'd be fine.
Okay, like Jackson with
they'd be fine.
Unconventional take.
Well, I think they're both like guys that like consider themselves throwbacks, so I think they would get along for like as long as you could possibly get along with Jimmy Butler, which is like a year and a half. So
yeah.
You know, because no one's going to get along with Jimmy Butler for like five years. You know, if he couldn't make it work he
hasn't shown it anywhere.
In Miami, why is he going to make it work there? So Thibodeau, you know, Thibodeau's not JB, but kind of similar-ish. Jimmy made it work with Thibodeau for the longest. You know, first in Chicago, then in Minnesota, which, you know.
Well, that didn't last too long, but
right. But I think
tried. I don't think it was Tim's fault. That was like I hate Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns.
And really, you know, he might have been right about that.
Yeah, I mean, we can disagree with the way he went about it, but he might have been right in his overall message. At the same time, though, Cat has had a pretty good career, and Andrew Wiggins is an NBA champion, so Jimmy Butler can't say that.
Andrew Wiggins was phenomenal for like 3 months.
All-star starter Andrew Wiggins wins the championship the same year.
That was insane.
It's pretty crazy. That's a pretty great outfit right there.
How cold is it there?
I mean,
the guy next to him is just wearing like a
that doesn't look too heavy though. Yeah.
But the hat.
Yeah, the hat and the glove.
The glove. Warm you up. Yeah, that's a lot.
DJ Cool. Pulling up the NBA standings here real quick because the Lakers right now, the Lakers are in 5th in the Western Conference, and it's really just a complete mess. Really? The West, because
that's higher than I would have thought.
Yeah, I thought they were in the play-in, but here's the thing: they're 5th in the West, but they're 3 games out of 11th and 3 games out of 2nd. So the West is all as Dan just said, it's all jumbled up. Literally 2 weeks of good or bad play could drop you from, being 5th in the conference all the way to out of the play-in picture. It's going to be crazy to see how it turns out.
I mean, jumbled with bad teams, though. Like,
jumbled with teams that I wouldn't consider contenders. Like
besides the Grizzlies, I do think the Grizzlies are good.
You're a Grizzlies believer?
Okay, I'm not like a believer, but they don't,
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they're
winning games no matter who's out there.
I don't think they're going to beat the Thunder in a playoff series, but I don't think I would pick them over, Lakers, Mavs, Rockets, whoever else you want to throw against them.
It's
Denver.
It's a complete mess. I don't know if anyone can beat OKC in the West. I really am not sure anymore. I guess there's definitely teams that could give them problems, but the West is really, really top heavy at this point.
One thing I will say is that you don't want to count out Dallas, just because when Luka's back, when you have arguably the best player in the world, it's hard to count you out.
A nuclear weapon right there in
right.
Luka and Kyrie filling in the gaps.
Maybe Denver can't really make a move, but can. If you squint, maybe you can talk yourself into Denver stealing 2 games against the Thunder.
Things would change so much for Denver if Jamal Murray could turn back the clock for just one playoff series even. I don't know if I believe in that at this point, but when Jamal Murray is playing like Jamal Murray, they legitimately could win the title. It's just he hasn't really given you any reason to think he's still capable of doing that for long stretches.
They have 4 playable NBA players on their roster outside of Jokic. You just need more.
Yeah, their bench isn't great. They're already relying so much on Jokic. Jamal can play like he does in the clutch. Yeah, he's really good at closing games, which is funny. And, Jokic should be able to keep you in a lot of games. So I really think not to oversimplify it, but I think a lot of it just comes down to what can Jamal Murray give you? Because it's unlikely any of those guys on the bench are suddenly going to become really competent and impactful players. You're basically rolling with Jokic is the best player in the world. Jamal Murray can be the perfect sidekick when he's rolling. Michael Porter Jr. kind of fills in space in the floor. Aaron Gordon gives you a little bit of everything. And then, Christian Brown, solid. Peyton Watson's okay. But, you need your 2 stars, basically.
Yeah, we are stretching the definition of solid and, okay. I think
they're okay players. It's after that it goes from okay to completely horrendous.
Yeah. You don't want to
you're relying on them too much.
They're just up 2 more slots than you'd like them to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. And Dallas has done a good job of building a pretty good defense around Luka and Kyrie. So that's another thing is I won't write them off completely because again, Luka can do crazy things. Klay Thompson, even though I think he's washed up, I still think theoretically just having him out there with Luka and Kyrie offensively is it's pretty nasty. If you just have him spot up or even use him a little bit in motion that opens a lot of things up. I don't trust him defensively and I don't think he's the shot maker he used to be, but I see the vision.
I'm just so out on him right now at this point in his
completely
career.
Fair. I'm not going to argue against it.
He's just not useful, honestly.
Yeah. I think the main thing that I'm looking at is just, Luka's going to play his ISO ball. And if you have Klay Thompson spotting up in the corner, it should be pretty automatic, but it's the rest of his game is so lacking.
What you can maybe talk yourself into is that he can get hot for a run where you have a Klay Thompson game where he just goes
get 7
because he does that.
I
think earlier this year that Warriors game, his return, he looked like Klay again. So it's not usually when players get older, it's not that they're incapable of playing like their old self, and I think we saw that a lot with Dwayne Wade when he was in Cleveland. He'd have a game and you're like, man, Dwayne Wade's doing a lot of really cool Dwayne Wade stuff out there. And then the next game, he's not doing that. So
can't turn it on every night.
Right. So it's just that's where it's, you can't rely on a player like that.
What could
to
be
the level that
for
they
them,
need him.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Is what could be helpful for them is if Najee Marshall and PJ Washington are able to play they've been pretty good this year, and if they're able to kind of fill in and at the start of the year, you probably would have expected Klay to be playing a larger role than he is. If he continues to kind of accept a smaller role and not complain about it, they're playing Najee Marshall and PJ Washington over him, maybe even Quentin Grimes over him. Then Klay can fill in and be impactful in those minutes where it's they're not relying on him too much, but he's out there just for the sole purpose that if he gets hot, he could win you a playoff game still.
Your guy.
Dinwiddie, yeah. They got Dinwiddie coming off the bench, man. They'll be fine. They do have some interesting bench. Dinwiddie's a guy who's still more often than not, he's not that great, but he could still go off every once in a while too. They have some interesting microwave guys
No, like, and that's where I think they have a team that's built for like a slower style game. Like that's why they beat the Thunder last year. They weren't the better team throughout the season, but you also got Kyrie Irving playing out of his mind, and how much can you count on a 33-year-old Kyrie Irving to do that on a nightly basis?
It's crazy that he's that old.
Yeah, well, he was a year older than me, so.
Well, athletes age differently. I'm pretty sure. Let me look at this real quick before I say anything, because it always surprises me. Yeah, so Kyrie, when he hit the shot against Golden State in Game 7, he basically had just turned 24. That's crazy to me to think that he played the way that he did in that series and hit arguably the clutchest shot in NBA history, ice in his veins at just 24 years old. And this isn't meant to slander on anybody, but we think of we talk a lot about Darius Garland and how he can still get better. It's like that. Kyrie Irving was Darius Garland's age when he hit the shot, younger than him, actually. It's just crazy how special of a talent Kyrie was back then. And he still is, but
still,
dude just came in ready for the moment.
Still unfulfilled potential, it seems like.
Yeah. He was one of the players who I was thinking of when I said not everyone hits their peak at 27, 28, because I think he probably peaked in Cleveland. He still had some great years, but
2017 Kyrie was insane.
He's had some really high moments.
I believe that was the year he led the Cavs in scoring, I believe.
It might have been.
I think he did.
His last year before leaving. I think it might have been.
So just a crazy situation. Why is he missing this game? Didn't he miss the Cavs game because he was sick?
Yeah, I think he just I just saw it recently. Let me look it up. So Dan might be on top of it already while I look it up. That's what it was.
He was sick.
He had a legit injury.
Did he play?
Yeah, he's out for 2 weeks. I don't know. He has a back injury. I don't know when it happened.
Ooh, that was a great pass from AD there.
So Kyrie's out for about 2 weeks. Luka probably has another 2-3 weeks before he's reevaluated, right? He was out for a month. I know that happened.
Well, he was just
at least a week ago.
Did you see the video of him scooting off the court and his little
look good.
No, with his little
he's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about this stuff, but it didn't look like he was ready to play basketball anytime in the near future.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to hold on, basically, because like I said, the Western Conference is so jumbled up right now. They have to find a way to stay alive here, because that would really suck for them if they fell down to the play-in.
Well, they got Derek Lively last time they fell out of it and went to the finals next year. So
it's true.
It's not.
They could pull another one off.
Yeah.
So Luka, basically, he's not going to be an All-NBA player now because he's not going to play enough games. That's something that I've been keeping an eye on is the All-NBA stuff, just trying to figure out how likely it is the Cavs to get. They're going to get Donovan Mitchell on there, I'd assume, but can Mobley or Garland break in there? I have a list if you'd like to hear it.
Go for it.
Okay. I shared this with the chat in one of the solo streams, but right now...
You think that Mobley can be an all NBA player, but you have Cat over him for the All-Star?
No, I do have Cat over him for all NBA as well, so I'm consistent at least. At least I'm consistent. Here's the deal, all right? So there's 15 all NBA spots. There's no positions, so I didn't really bother with that.
Which makes it harder.
It makes it harder for the big men for sure.
Yeah.
I picked 9 players who I think are locks right now. You're going to disagree with Cat. He's one of them. Yeah, you'll disagree with that. That's fair. Here's the 9 players who I think are locks. SGA, Tatum, Mitchell, Giannis. You might disagree with this one. Wemby, Jokic, Brunson, Cat, and I put Anthony Davis in there as well. So do you disagree with any of those? How do you feel about the 9 locks?
I wouldn't put Wemby and AD as locks.
Okay.
How about that?
That's fair. You can bump them down. I think they get so much. Like Wemby's just an NBA darling,
right?
And the Lakers tend to get all the NBA guys, so that's.
But I could see them. I could see them falling out with like AD falling out with an injury, or Wemby like, hey, we're just going to tank the last 2 months of the season. Mm-hmm. So we'll see about that. But if you had like an All NBA for the first half of the season, I would agree with that. Like I see that. I see that as being most likely. Not saying, I think Evan deserves it more than Wemby and Cap, but that's a separate. That's not the conversation we're having.
Yeah. I did my best to try and pick guys, like not only just people who I think deserve it, but also just who I think is most likely to make it. That's why Anthony Davis is there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those are the 9 guys who I had who I think are guaranteed. I had another 8 guys who I think are like seriously going to be considered, and then another like 4 guys who I think are maybe in there. So really, I would say about 12 guys here, all fighting for the final 6 spots.
Right.
Mobley and Garland are in that group.
I don't know if Garland is, but that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fair. I think Mobley has a better chance than Garland. But the other names. So we got 6 spots left to give out. LeBron James, does he get it? It'd feel wrong not to, but at the same time, do the Lakers really deserve 2 All NBA guys if they end up as a play-in team? I don't know, but like it's LeBron.
It is LeBron. We'll see. I mean, and he always has great stats, which is like the tough thing.
Yeah,
is that he's never not going to have great stats. So you're going to be able to put him on there. It's not like Kobe who had bad stats, his last like 8 years.
Okay, this isn't in any particular order, by the way.
Actually.
If you hear a guy who you're like, whoa, he doesn't belong there, it's not in any order. These are just guys who I think are in consideration. Cade Cunningham.
No, he's not in consideration. No.
Okay. And let's frame it this way: is Mobley ahead of the guys that I'm naming? So would you put Mobley ahead of Cade? Obviously,
Mobley's
then
way ahead. Yes.
Mobley ahead of LeBron. If it came down to LeBron or Mobley,
no.
Okay.
No chance.
This one's tough to me. Anthony Edwards.
No, he's not ahead of Anthony Edwards. Yeah, but he's Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
Guards are always going to have a better chance of making it. They have better numbers.
Yeah.
So
right now we got 2 guys ahead of Mobley out of 6 available spots.
Right.
Jaylen Brown.
Probably.
Yeah. So that's 3 guys ahead of him. After that, I honestly think Mobley's the highest one, but I'll go ahead and keep reading them. Devin Booker.
It's
Phoenix
like the guards thing. It's the guards thing.
Phoenix is so bad.
Nobody thinks about that with all NBA.
Yeah. Okay. So that would be 4 spots taken. There's 2 spots left.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams on OKC, the good one.
That's like a toss up. So we'll see about that.
I agree.
We'll see about that. I think that right now Jalen Williams would probably get it, but I think that's probably one where you could maybe get that.
Keep it as a for now. So that's 4 spots taken, maybe 5, depending on how you feel about J-Dub. After this, I do think the competition kind of falls off a little bit, but this is the last one who I think would threaten Mobley the most. Sengun.
No.
As far as so you take Mobley over him? I would too.
Yeah. I think it's a lot easier when it's somebody at the same position. And Mobley's just so much more of a all-around player, and I think anybody who is deep in it enough to say that Sengun is good, like you have to be like not a casual to really like
So you'd be recognizing Mobley as well,
right? Yeah,
it's a good point. And it would also help if Houston ends up not being the 2nd seed, which I don't think they'll end as the 2nd seed.
Yeah, but again, like all NBA is different than All Star, though.
It's true. Yeah. The other names, just really quickly. Steph Curry, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey were the other guys who I thought of. There's plenty of other guys you could think of, but they're not going to.
Steph Curry's like LeBron. If he has the numbers, he's going to be all NBA.
Yeah. The thing with Steph is he might not play 65 games. He's already, I'll pull up how many he's missed so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing keeping him
that changes
off.
Everything. Yeah. Well, okay, so he hasn't missed that many games. He's played 28 out of, I'm assuming, like 35. So, well, he's about halfway there to missing it then, right? How many games the Warriors played? I'm trying to find out. He's
probably
missed
35, 34.
They're 18 and 17, so yeah, 35. So he's missed 7 games. You can miss 17. So he's not exactly in danger, but a decent injury could take him out of it. But yeah, we'll keep him in there. So that's where
no one's looking
tough.
at their ballot and saying, I'm putting Mobley on instead of Steph. I mean, some people would wisely do that, but fair. I think the average NBA person's not doing that.
Okay, so if that's true, that means we have 5 spots basically guaranteed, with 1 spot between Mobley, J-Dub, Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, and Sengun. I can't imagine anyone else in that conversation personally.
KD, can he get in there?
I don't know.
Probably
I think he's missed too many games. Yeah, I think that's why I didn't include him. Let me check how many he's missed. I didn't include him because
Dame
of that.
Get in there?
I mean, maybe, but he shouldn't. He might be eligible, but I wouldn't put him. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I would be pretty upset if Damian Lillard made All NBA over Mobley, but I guess
he started the All-Star game last year.
It's true.
Over Donovan Mitchell.
KD has missed 11 games. He's played 24. I'm trying to see how many games Phoenix has played.
Yeah, he's not gonna missed 11 games.
Phoenix has played 34 games, so he's missed 10 games already.
10 games, yeah. He's not gonna be there.
He's really in danger.
Yeah,
Dame, I guess Dame could make. Let me see what Dame's putting up. But let's see the counting stats here.
Dame has counting.
They're probably good. Yeah, I was gonna say they're probably pretty good.
And Mobley doesn't have.
Dame's averaging. He's averaging about. I'm gonna round up 25 and 7,
which is good.
That's pretty damn good
numbers. So.
He's also 7-time All NBA, and I feel like you tend to get the benefit of the doubt when you have that reputation. And he's been pretty available. He's played 27 out of see how many games they played. He's played 27 out of 34 games. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. Mobley's case it's gonna be right on the margin. We'll see how many people know ball if they reward him for being one of the best two-way bigs.
They will
two-way players.
I mean, you have a better chance of all defensive team, I think.
That was the dunk we were talking about.
Or all defense. Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah.
Or even defensive player of the year. Because you have to have offensive numbers to be a defensive player of the year, or like Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
So, and he has those now. So I think I think defensive player of the year is more likely than All NBA.
Okay.
Ooh,
I think just from what I see on Twitter and general NBA podcast discourse, it sounds like they're just handing Wemby the award already. So I'm not getting my hopes up for defensive player of the year just because it sounds like and I love Wemby, so I'm not complaining, but it sounds like everyone's just completely head over heels for Wemby right now when it comes to defensive player of the year.
They're wrong.
Evan Mobley will always be hurt by playing next to Jared Allen in that regard. And Wemby's just got the counting stats, and Dean Wade. Yeah, but unfortunately, people don't recognize that. People don't even give Dean Wade the credit.
People don't recognize that Dean Wade. Yeah, that's fair.
Dean Wade should be I don't think Dean Wade would make an all-defensive team if I was in charge. I'd probably end up putting other people ahead of him, but he'd be thick in the conversation. He'd be right there in consideration.
Yeah, well.
But I don't think he'll even get a vote by, our NBA knowers. How did you feel about Tim Bontemps' comments yesterday?
What was he?
Did you see this?
I heard about it, but I didn't actually listen to it. Did he say? He said
I didn't listen to the full
all-star?
context. I didn't listen to the full pod, so I won't pretend that I can.
I'm planning on listening to it tomorrow.
Yeah, I gotta listen to it.
But he said, I'm pretty sure he said that he's not an all-star.
From what I saw, he essentially said he's only averaging 18 points and 8 rebounds. So he didn't say he's not an all-star, because Tim actually replied to someone on Cavs Twitter and was not arguing with them, but just, trying to clarify that he said, basically he wasn't saying he's not an all-star, but he was trying to explain why it's tougher than you think.
Listen, what I will say is that Tim wouldn't have to clarify all these things if he just said,
if he jumped on the Junkyard Pod.
Well, if he just said, well, I didn't mean he was Derek Favors. Well, then why did you say he was Derek Favors? Seems like these are things that you could have avoided. Nobody's ever accused anybody else of comparing Evan Mobley to Derek Favors, except for
it's true.
The guy who did it.
You accidentally do.
Yeah. So that, there's a way to not do that. Ooh. And when Clay does get hot, it is something that
exciting.
You have to reckon with. It's just not something you can count on. Like if you're counting on Clay getting hot, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah.
But yeah, once Clay makes 2 in a row, you have to start
betting the defense. Oh, good recovery from Austin Reeves. Looked like he almost. Oh, bad pass. I think he got tipped.
Your guy.
Can't believe I'm over here rooting for a Clay triple.
Listen, we want something to happen in this game. Nothing happened since the dunk.
It's pretty embarrassing. The Lakers are down.
Quiet.
They're down by 3.
This game has been as bad as the uniforms that the Lakers are wearing.
Yeah, I actually don't like them that much.
They're bad.
I think I defended them earlier in the year. I'm not really a big.
If they came out in like 2008, people would love them. They're Oregon 2008-esque.
Yeah, this is a game, as I've already mentioned, how stacked the Western Conference is in the middle right now. Like, this is a game the Lakers can't afford to lose, and the effort right now doesn't look good. Like,
we got some open palms from Anthony Davis. That's a good sign.
A game like this, when Dallas is down their 2 best guys, I know you're on the road, but like, this is a game you have to win. You'll look back if you end up in the play-in tournament. You're going to look back at this is one of the games that you dropped the ball. So. Hopefully, the Lakers are able to do something here.
All right, let's flip over to
let's float around.
Looks like
I'll
Hornets
pull up the other scores.
61-60.
Okay, you got it.
Hornets. 7 minutes left in the third. 79-68 Rockets with 5:51 left in the third.
I'm going to check out the Suns.
Yeah, I'm not interested in the Rockets and Wizards because the problem is the Wizards are just so bad that there's nothing to even talk about.
Yeah,
I'll flip it over.
Dallas a better team without Luka and Kyrie tanking the defense. You know what? I think that the defense has been built strong enough around them that it doesn't matter. So I know Dan is just joshing around, but I do think that they've done a good job building the defense around.
Some are saying. People forget.
You've seen, I'm assuming that they benched Bradley Beal. He's coming off the bench now. Him and Nurkic have been benched.
Doesn't matter.
Things are getting dire.
This is your Phoenix Suns. You have the floor to explain what's happening. What's the state of the Phoenix Suns?
You know what? I really can't tell you how much of a mess it's been because the Bradley Beal experiment has not worked out at all. He does not fit this team.
Who could have seen that coming?
There's nothing. He does not provide anything to this team. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to just hate on Bradley Beal, but he provides absolutely nothing. He's a complete detriment on defense. He's redundant because you don't want the ball out of Booker or KD's hands. Yeah. And I know the argument was that he could space the floor for them, but he just doesn't really do that well because he's just not that kind of player. And then their center, they have like the worst centers in the NBA. I'm sorry. Plumlee probably shouldn't be playing 20 minutes per game.
He shouldn't be playing. He should be playing the Robin Lopez role.
Yeah. Nurkic is just like the worst big I could imagine to pair with this team. When you look at this team, you're like, okay, they need a defensive anchor as their center, probably, right? Sure, let's get Nurkic. That makes sense. No, it's horrible. He's like the worst fit with KD, Booker, and
could they use Pete Nance?
They might as well try. I mean, they might as well try. I like Tyus Jones. I thought that would be helpful for them.
I did like Tyus Jones.
You can't play Tyus Jones, Booker, KD, and Beal, and Nurkic.
Yes, Dan. Pete was waived, and we know that.
You should give it a try. Why not?
You're playing Plumlee. Because Pete Nance can't play defense.
Nance would be pretty bad on defense. They did a horrible job building the supporting cast here. I do like Ryan Dunn, the rookie. He's a very good defensive player, but you're not at this isn't the stage in your team where you should be relying on like the 23rd pick or whatever he was in the draft. Like you can't play that guy heavy minutes.
Well, before the season, I asked Pete Nance kind of like, I don't know. I didn't ask him like, what do you say to your detractors? Because that's not a question that I would ask. But he basically said like my haters and losers, they don't know ball essentially. But now he will be back, and the number one hater and loser.
I was going to ask that. So what happens now with Pete Nance?
He would go back, like the Charge would have their like returning player rights essentially.
Okay, yeah. So I wasn't sure. Oh, good pass right there. Didn't lead to anything at all because that was the worst layup I've ever seen. But it's a good pass. That's the problem, and this is why I talked myself into the Suns. Booker and KD are so good, man. You have to be even just decent. Just a little bit of competence building the roster around them, and you should have a great team.
NBA champion James Jones could have done better.
Yeah, he could have done better.
He couldn't have done worse.
It's really bad. Like, I'll give him credit for Tyus Jones. I don't think I can give him credit for literally anything else on this roster.
That Beal trade was so bad.
I just don't understand I know I just said the idea was that he could space the floor for them, but okay, get someone not named Bradley Beal if that's what you're looking for.
And he's small. Like, he doesn't have any size.
He doesn't play defense. He's small. He's never, he's been on like one team that was actually like competing in the playoffs when John Wall was there. Other than that, he's been empty stats on bad teams. Like, if Bradley Beal was this good, the Wizards wouldn't have been winning like 5 games for like 6 years in a row.
And Bradley Beal is responsible for like a whole wave of players in the NBA who just aren't good at basketball. Like Darius.
You're giving him the blame for that?
Oh yeah. No, I did a
mind-numbing trade.
I did a interview with him last year about Darius Garland, because Darius Garland, if you don't know, played on his AAU team growing up. So that was pretty cool. So he's a good guy, just not really, a good fit or a good basketball player at this career.
I think I think he could be a helpful player in the right circumstance. Like, I think if you put him in San Antonio right now, I think he probably looks pretty good and he's probably helpful for them. Maybe even Minnesota, he's helpful. Like, just let him play the Mike Conley role, because Mike Conley hasn't been very good this year. But Phoenix was maybe the worst.
Dunking on his haters.
Shout out to him. I was about to say, hold on a second. Phoenix is probably the worst landing spot for him. Here's what they gave up for Bradley Beal, in case you've forgotten. Wow, I actually didn't realize one of these players was included in this. So the Suns got Bradley Beal, Jordan Goodwin, and Isaiah Todd. Basically, they just got Bradley Beal because I don't even know what those two guys are doing. They gave up Chris Paul. Okay, fine. You wanted to move off Chris Paul. I get it. That's fine. Landry Shamet.
Who doesn't?
That's fine. You're not missing Landry Shamet. You gave up the number 7 pick in the draft, which became Bilal Coulibaly. They could probably use a Bilal Coulibaly on this roster right now. They also gave up.
How did they get the 7th pick in the draft?
Via the Pacers. This was a 3-team trade, apparently. I forgot that there were 3 teams involved.
So that's really the Pacers traded that.
Yeah, so like good point, because I didn't
the Pacers traded the
that.
7th overall pick for.
Well, here's what the Pacers got in this deal. The Pacers got Jarris Walker, who was the number 8th pick. And then they got 2 second-round picks. So they gave up the 7th pick for the 8th pick
2 seconds
and 2 seconds. So
right.
I mean,
yeah, they were.
They probably picked the wrong guy there, but
yeah, they were in on DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah,
Then what did the Blazers give up then?
I'll have to look at that trade itself in a second.
Oh, was it 2 separate trades?
Yes, 2 separate trades. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, good pointing out that was from the Pacers trade. So. The Coulibaly stuff disregard, but nonetheless, they gave up like a million draft picks.
Who gave up the 8th pick?
The Pacers gave up the 8th, or sorry, the Wizards gave up the 8th pick to get the 7th pick from the Pacers, and the Pacers got the 8th pick from the Wizards. So they basically just fell down one spot, picked up 2 second-round picks.
The problem with Bradley Beal is his contract, first off.
Yeah. I mean, if he was making half the money he is, he'd just be a piece of the puzzle, and it wouldn't be that bad. It doesn't tell me where the picks came from here, so I don't know exactly how many of these are from Phoenix, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 first-round picks that went in that deal as well to Washington. I'm assuming most of those are from Phoenix. So just, the wrong guy to pour all your chips into. I'll pull up the Ayton trade now. The Ayton situation was kind of just really mishandled, I think. I don't remember all the details, but I know they basically just caused a complete rift with Ayton and the coaching staff, and it was like you had to trade him.
Yeah, but Ayton sucks. So
it's true. But he's better than he does suck, but he's a lot better than who they have right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ayton isn't solving any problems here. He's an upgrade though, but he's not solving the problems.
He's helping the defense just a little bit.
He's not making things worse. He's definitely not saving it.
I'm trying to find just like an easy recap of the trade where it just puts out, okay, here. Oh wait, is this? Sorry, this is a hypothetical trade. I'm trying to find the
actual trade.
Here we go. Yeah. Blazers trade DeAndre Ayton to East contender and blockbuster proposal. Is this also a hypothetical trade? Oh my God, this is Google. Okay, I got it. This is from the NBA.com. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot this was the Dame trade. I forgot that they got involved in that. So Portland got DeAndre Ayton and Toumani Camara in exchange from the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Keon Johnson, Nazir Little, and Yusuf Nurkic. So they got Nurkic back and 2 guys who don't play for them. And then Portland got Drew Holiday, who was later traded, obviously, a first-round pick, a first-round swap for 2028 and 2030. So they got a first-round pick and 2 swaps from Milwaukee for Damian Lillard and Grayson Allen, Grayson Allen was sent to Phoenix. This was written in a very confusing way. I don't know why it's not just so Phoenix got Phoenix. No, it's not in bullet points. It's just a paragraph, which is annoying. But Phoenix gave up DeAndre Ayton and a couple picks, and they got Yusuf Nurkic, Nazir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. So it's actually not that bad of a trade for them, considering like Grayson Allen's a legit rotational player for them, I guess. But Nurkic was a downgrade, and they didn't really, It's not a good trade, but it's not a disaster. It's not a good trade, but it's not as bad.
Kiki says, I don't understand why having KD on your team doesn't at least guarantee a first-round win.
You have to.
I think it's because KD's old, and the
supporting cast sucks.
And I mean, KD also, he deserves a lot of responsibility for how bad his teams are, with how he's forcing himself into these situations that are constantly bad situations. And he's somebody who does not affect the game the way like a LeBron James does, where KD doesn't have the ball in his hands. He doesn't like create the same level of gravity. He just more kind of is just really good at what he does. Like I have a tough time trying to explain it because, to stop KD, you kind of want to keep him from getting to his spots, but you're not like sending double, triple teams at him, And
KD not makes the playmaker that LeBron.
Yeah,
is.
And he's a tough shot maker at this point in his career. He always was a tough shot maker, but now he seems like he's like almost exclusively a tough shot maker and a 3-point shooter. So it's just harder to have. You don't have like that drive and kick aspect to his game, and like the defense doesn't shift whenever he touches the ball the way that it does when like a Giannis Antetokounmpo touches the ball.
Mm.
But yeah, the overall point is they messed it up.
I think the biggest issue for KD and the Suns is mainly just the supporting cast. It's not even just like KD has his limitations as he's aged, but I think it's really just the supporting cast is so If he was on a more competent roster, he would be like on a title contender, basically. If you put him on like 90%.
If you put him on a title contender, he'd be
no, I mean if you put him on like let me just run down the NBA standings real quick.
So if you
put him on Indiana, they're a title contender, I think.
No,
like that's probably the worst team that I could think of.
Yeah.
If you put him on Indiana without giving up like
just you don't give him anything. You just put him on the team. We're just putting him on the team. Okay.
Yeah, I think they'd be a title contender.
I don't think so.
They wouldn't be the favorites, but I think they'd have a legit chance. If you put them on Orlando and they're healthy, they're a title contender. But Orlando's probably a little too good to like they're pretty good already.
Okay, yeah. Well, I will say yes.
I mean, if you put them on Denver, they're a title contender. That's too easy. If you put them on Dallas,
but I mean, I think if you do this with like top 20 players, if you put Donovan Mitchell on Denver, they're a title contender. If you put Donovan Mitchell in Indiana, they're probably.
If you put them on the Spurs,
by your standards.
I'm just kidding. If you put them on the Kings, does that again? We're talking just in a vacuum. You just added Kevin Durant somehow.
I don't think
are things too bad in there.
I don't think putting Jokic on the Kings really saves them.
Really? Okay, that actually Jokic and De'Aaron Fox would be pretty crazy though, and they have like a fun bench. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit for like the Kings from 2 years ago. Maybe I'm not accepting the reality of who Sacramento is now. Jokic on the Kings would be kind of nasty.
It'd be fun, but they'd probably something would happen.
Would Jokic on the Kings be better than Jokic on the Nuggets right now?
This was more so a shot at the Kings. This wasn't really like a serious thing. Okay. Just to say like nobody can save the Kings. That was the joke. So we don't need to play
Dion Ellis can't save the Kings.
Yeah. Sabonis on the Kings, Jokic, it'd be great. It'd be the best thing ever. So you know what? It was a joke.
Jokic and DeMar DeRozan.
Worst thing ever. Honestly, but he's like Jokic and like Russell Westbrook has kind of been like
it's been like the best thing they have. Not the best thing they have, but it's been like actually helpful. Westbrook has been good for them, which you don't want that to be the case necessarily. The rest of things shouldn't be so bad that like Westbrook is I like Westbrook a lot, so I don't want to come off like I'm hating, but you probably should have other things going on at this point.
Yeah,
that was a tough foul. I pulled this up when I was watching the Cavs Hornets game, but Tijan Salon is shooting like 32% from the floor, not from the 3-point line, from the floor. So He's having a rough rookie season. He missed like a whole bunch of threes against the Cavs. I had to look it up. Would the Cavs still be this good if they had Sabonis as a power forward and Mobley at center? That's an interesting fit because Sabonis, he gives you a different type of spacing. They'd be really good. He hurts the defense, but he does
good. They would be
screens that he sets, the play.
Kenny Atkinson would have them at like a 200 offensive rating.
Yeah, the offense would be insane. So, I do think Sabonis gets a little too much hatred for his defense. I think if he wasn't, if you put him next to Mobley, I think it covers up 90% of his issues. But it's not going to happen. But it's a fun hypothetical.
I've like thrown that out as a hypothetical before, but I've never really like written about it because it's just too much.
Yeah. It's too unrealistic. I don't see it happening. But Sabonis is a lot of fun. I mean, he's such a good screen setter.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously the playmaking. He's so physical. That's the thing. He's like he would be by far the most physical player on the Cavs.
I would love it, Sabonis for JA trade. I just love it so much.
I wonder what like the general NBA fans would think of that because Sabonis is a better player than JA. JA is beloved, and I love JA. And I'm not trying to come up with hypotheticals to get him out of here.
People wanted him,
but Sabonis is like an All NBA caliber player.
Whenever the Cavs lose their first playoff game, people are going to be sending him out of town. So
we know that. We know that for a fact.
We don't need to pretend that that's not going to happen.
Yeah. And that's why I said like general NBA fans. I feel like general NBA fans would be like, "Are you kidding me? Sabonis has way more trade value than Jared Allen."
It's just tough. It's just tough when you're center is like the hardest position in basketball in the sense that you can't be just an offensive center and survive, or at least like survive to the level that you need to. I mean, think of before Jokic, when he was a 2-time MVP, putting up historic numbers, people were seriously considering whether you could win with Jokic as your best player.
Yeah.
Because that's just how important a center's defense is to your team. And if he didn't win that championship, even though he's been the best player alive for like 4 years, people would still be having that conversation. So that just kind of speaks to how tough it is for a center who's not a good defender. And he's a better defender than Sabonis. At the same time, if you can't shoot and you are very limited as what you can do as a playmaker, it's also really tough. Like the other way.
Go Bears.
So, yeah.
As Dan just said.
Yeah, so it's like you can't – like it's just a really tough position, and it's a really important position. So you kind of need to be good at both things. And that's what, or you need to be like – or you need to have – or your team needs to be built in a way that it can overcompensate for that, and like you're not in your closing lineup. Like Oklahoma City has a lot of different closing lineups they can throw out there that doesn't include a center. The Celtics have Horford and Porzingis, which both can conceivably be in the closing lineup. So it's tough. It's just a tough position. So, if Sabonis is kind of like your only center, you're probably the same with like Cat. Like in the playoffs, he's going to get picked on. So you need to kind of like protect them. And then you got to protect them with another center, which, as we just pointed out, is really hard to find. So it's also why like center is the position with like the least amount of depth. Like everyone's like, oh, just get another backup center for the Cavs. And it's like, that's not an option.
No one out there. There's no one out there.
Like DeAndre Jordan's still collecting paychecks.
Taj Gibson is in this game.
He's in this game. He's playing basketball. So, any good backup center is not going to want to come and be the 14th man on this team. So it's a tough position.
Yeah. I'm still standing by that. If the Cavs really need a backup center, I think you're honestly probably, rather than trying to add anybody or make any trades, you're probably better off just giving JT Thor the call up, I think. I don't think it's going to be that much better anyone else you're going to find on the market right now.
You would just play Dean Wade at center.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're trying to add anything is what I'm just saying. Like if you're like, if someone like Jared Allen sprains his ankle for 2 weeks, you can't play Dean Wade at center full time as the backup. Just call JT Thor up and let him play a couple of games. Like, I think that's better than making it. Like, I don't think you need a trade for Larry Nance Jr. I don't think it's that important that you address that.
I think it's more important to address the George Niang minutes.
And hopefully that's just Dean Wade and like small ball Okoro or something. Like,
but we'll
small ball whoever.
Honestly, we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah, we might. Okoro and Sam both practicing. It looks like they're questionable, so they could play tomorrow.
If you're a Fear the Sword reader, you already knew that.
Yeah. It'd be very helpful to have Okoro for this matchup. Just in case you need someone to throw at SGA.
Do you know what like Max Strus's like net rating is? It's like the 98th percentile.
It's great. I haven't seen it. Yeah. It's nice to have him back. He's really not even shooting the ball all that well just yet. I feel like he hasn't gotten any clean looks yet. He's drawing in so much attention still. Yeah,
he does so much. He does so much good stuff off ball. It's kind of insane.
He came into that Charlotte game and it was like, I think he finished with maybe I'm thinking of the Dallas game. I think he had 7 assists against Dallas. And like only 4 assists against Charlotte, but I swear he was creating like an open look every time.
Well, he had that 1 assist to Niang, that like bounce pass.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was just.
We should go over the Lakers game. Since that is what we advertised.
It was halftime. That's why we were browsing around. But Max Strus's playmaking, his connectivity is so great, and he's been such a positive even without that 3-point shot falling. And I think listen, the dude missed 6 weeks. I'm gonna wait until maybe like late February before I start.
He may not be a good 3-point shooter, honestly. That's what it comes down to.
But he is, but he isn't. I know what you're saying. I get what you're saying. He's never really been efficient. He's never really been that efficient. But
he looks like a 3-point shooter. I wrote about this.
With the volume and the difficulty, I think you can give him credit.
Let me talk. I wrote about this on fearthisrun.com. Like what he does is people respect him as a 3-point shooter, and he does like such a good job of recognizing this like beforehand. Like even someone like Sam Merrill doesn't do that. LeBron James does it again.
Down by 10
to
the Luka and Kyrie-less Mavs, but he's still
throwing
it down like a young man.
It wasn't a 10-point game when we left. But he like you see some guys do like the pump fake and try to go around you. Like Strus already knows on the catch whether his guy is closing up too hard.
Yeah,
and he just puts the ball on the ground.
He doesn't even pump it
immediately and just blows by his guy. So like he just does those little things to create those like micro advantages, and then just like he's a good enough ball handler and a good enough playmaker to really like leverage that into being just a great offensive player. So Strus is really good, but he's not a 3-point shooter.
Here's the counter that I'm going to offer to that, okay? Because he's always like near the top of the league in terms of like contested attempts. He rarely gets open attempts.
Right.
If teams, let's say the narrative is Max Strus is not a 3-point shooter and teams defend him like he's not a 3-point shooter, I think he shoots like 45%. He's going to be drilling like 45% of his attempts. I think if you left him open, he's going to be first. Yeah, we can't prove it, but I think
so.
I think the dude is a legit shooter. It's just he's not one of the best shooters in the NBA, but I think he's a legit volume shooter because the degree of difficulty and the way he gets shots off, like it really is a talent. You can't if Okoro started moving like Max Strus, no one would believe it. And Okoro shooting like 47% from three. Even like let's say I'll give you a more fair example. If Karis LeVert started acting like Max Strus, teams aren't going to adjust how they defend Karis LeVert. They're going to be like, oh, you're flying off a screen and taking this like drifting three. Okay, Karis. Well, those will go in once every other week, but we're going to still defend you the same way. Max Strus, teams are like desperate to make sure he doesn't get open. So I'm going to give him more.
And they shouldn't be. That's the whole thing. They shouldn't.
I think they should. I think if you give him daylight, he'll make you pay.
Give him daylight.
Let's see if we can. Maybe it's our job to change the narrative. Let's talk about how bad of a shooter he is so teams stop respecting him.
I'll start going to the pregame press conferences and say, opposing coach, what's your plan for
Are you sure that Max Strus is worth guarding?
Yeah.
You guys really gonna defend him like that? He isn't shooting that well.
You know that Max Strus can't shoot, so how are you going to
with Max Strus is shooting 32% this year. Are you guys gonna adjust the way you defend him tonight?
Yeah, to let him
talk them into giving him an explosive 10 3-point game.
Yeah.
Okay, Lakers on putting together a little bit of a run. This is the problem when we were just talking all NBA stuff. Is I'm like, obviously it's not even, third quarter just started, but if you have two all NBA players and you can't beat this Mavericks team, something doesn't add up. You know what I mean?
Maybe Anthony Davis sucks.
I don't know what I really think the Lakers should be better than they are, but they just weird vibes.
They don't have any shooters.
They
don't have any ball handlers. And they have a bunch of guys who you can like convince yourself is like a decent shooter. LeBron doesn't play any defense. He's also the only ball handler. He's also 40 years old.
The only one who understands what's going on right there too. Max Christie should have been up on the elbow, and he's not.
So they just have some guys who aren't good at basketball. That's kind of what it comes down to.
It's kind of incredible how throughout his entire Laker career, they just haven't put shooters around him. That's the one like evergreen thing that's always been true for LeBron is you just give him guys who can shoot the ball and he's gonna find them and you're gonna have a good offense. But the Lakers are like, what if we didn't do that ever?
I think that there's also like a shift in the NBA where like you can't just pick up good shooters anymore for nothing. Where like there was a time where like you could kind of do that. So I do want to say that it is tougher.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Sam Merrill was available for quite a while, and they failed to pick him up. So,
listen, we were never Dorian Finney-Smith fans. We never thought that was going to do anything.
I like him in a vacuum. I would have never traded like Karis LeVert for.
Yeah.
I would have traded Niang for him, but I didn't think that was possible.
Sure.
Yeah, if you were trading Karis LeVert, he's not the Brooklyn Net player that I would have wanted in return. I would have wanted Cam Johnson, but I think the price for him is too high.
Way too high.
Yeah. So I don't expect the Cavs to make it.
All you have is 2031 first, Karis LeVert, in like a couple seconds.
Ty Jerome.
Well, I mean, if you trade Karis LeVert, you need Ty Jerome. Yeah,
it's true. It's true. Unless you really believe in Craig Porter Jr. in the year 2025.
I did in 2023.
He earned it back then. That was a nice block. Max Christie's been playing pretty decent for them, but again, it's kind of like what we said with some of the Denver role players. It's like Max Christie would be pretty sweet as like your 9th or 10th guy. Probably shouldn't be this important to your rotation.
The Lakers just aren't good.
No, they're not. This was a good play out of them, though. We'll give them credit where it's due.
Dylan, if Denver and Boston were playing now, we'd be watching that game, but we're not staying up till 10 to stream
it. And now that I know Jokic isn't playing, I'm probably not even gonna watch.
Oh, he's not? Oh, no Jokic versus Boston. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully the Lakers can get their stuff together here and give us a good game, because I'd be pretty disappointed if they just get run off the floor to Dallas. LeBron, AD, Reeves are their only good players. Dorian Finney-Smith. I think Rui's a good NBA player. I don't think he's a good fit for a LeBron team, really. And yeah, is that it? I'm trying to think who else is on. Who else is on this Lakers team? I like Dalton Connect, but he's a rookie, and you really shouldn't be at a stage in your title run where you're relying on a rookie. He's old, though. He is older.
He is old. He's ancient.
I think he's 24.
It's like Darius Garland's age.
Am I overshooting that? Is that too old? Let me check. I might have exaggerated. He's 23. He'll be 24 in April. I mean, 6'6", legit shooter. So like if you could have added him 4 years ago to this Lakers team, he'd be a good fit. But because he's a rookie,
it's crazy how good they were 4 years ago compared to how good they are now.
Yeah, I mean that's when they did have some shooters around LeBron. You had KCP, you had I'm forgetting names. I just looked at their roster on stream. Like what was it? Like a couple days ago. Kuzma, he was shooting the ball all right back then, I think.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, he was lights out.
JaVale McGee. Danny Green. He was good. He was actually good then. J.R. Smith, people forget.
They had Malik Monk.
Dion Waiters.
Dion Waiters. Was he on that? Was he on their championship squad?
Yeah. I think so.
I think he was.
Yeah.
Here, I'm pulling up their 2020 team right now.
I can't believe JR went through the whole Disney bubble. That's crazy.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Their 2020 team had Danny Green, who's like a legit 3-point shooter. Kyle Kuzma, who shot the ball pretty well.
I mean, Danny Green was really good.
Yeah. They have other guys who are, Contavious Caldwell-Pope, who I mentioned. So that's two legit
Alex
shooters
Caruso.
who are better than anyone else.
Caruso,
not a shooter, but
a ball handler.
They have like other guys. They have other guys who could shoot, but they didn't play minutes that year, like JR.
Yeah.
Avery Bradley didn't even go to the bubble. Markieff Morris, am I remembering correctly? I feel like he shot the ball pretty well for them. Let me double check.
I don't remember.
I can't remember for sure. I'm checking right now. In that playoffs, he barely played for them.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't. Oh no. Sorry, he actually did. He barely played for them in the 21 playoffs. He played 20. He played all 21 games in the championship run, and he shot 42% from three. So you know what?
Really,
he played pretty decent for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Only 3 attempts per game, but it's not bad at all.
Are you going to lock into how bad your Suns are?
What's the score here? I have to move my camera. Oh my good. Wait, the camera froze.
87-97.
Okay. My camera froze. It showed me I saw the 7 in Phoenix and the 97 on Charlotte. I was like, don't tell me it's like 79 to something, but all right. Still down 10 to Charlotte. I'm glad I'm not a Suns fan.
You are a Suns fan.
I'm glad that my Suns fandom peaked when Jackson asked me who the contenders were 3.5 months ago.
You said the Suns are 7-2. They're really good.
They were playing really good, man. They look good.
They had a negative net. They had a negative net rating.
I didn't know that at the time.
I told you.
Ever said that. Maybe you did. I wasn't ready to accept. Listen, Ryan Dunn was looking like a great rookie right now. He's still having a good rookie season, but
sure.
He was shooting like really good from 3 to start off. Now he's missing layups. This is how far we've fallen.
I mean, Charlotte has no defense.
Yeah, it was pretty embarrassing.
But
we got to talk about
no defense.
We got to talk about the Cavs garbage units, garbage time units, just messing up the net rating, man. Last few games, it's like we were up by like 20 when they came in, and they almost cut it down to single digits.
Well, no Craig Porter Jr., right? Did he play?
I think he did play.
Okay. I'm usually so like deep in writing.
At that point, you're writing the recap.
At that point, so I don't even I don't know who's playing. I don't see anything.
I don't think they scored the final 4 minutes of the game against Charlotte. I think no, they didn't even. Tristan Thompson got to the free throw line and missed both.
I know he missed.
I think that was the only. I think that's like the only time they even got a shot up. They like turned it over. I think Ty Jerome airballed like a 30-footer, which was kind of on brand at this point. He missed like a floater as well. Ty Jerome really blew it. All right, because he had a pretty efficient game, and then he went like 0 for 4 in the final 4 minutes.
He's a babysitter of that group, so he needs to babysit.
Well, Jalen Tyson looked pretty bad. I don't even think JT Thor. I really don't think JT Thor touched the ball in those 4 minutes out there. They've been dropping it, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay. They managed to hold on to the double-digit lead, keep that streak alive. They need to bring Luke Travers back. That's what the garbage lineups have been missing.
Well, he's been like hurt.
Has he?
So that's why he's not playing. Yeah. Oh,
I'd like to see Amani get a run at some point. And then in garbage time.
He's had some bad
I saw a couple of the box scores, but
not good.
I didn't even realize this game was on TNT. I think this is the first time we've been on the TNT broadcast.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I showed it on like the local one, if there was different blackouts or anything, but then I was like, whatever.
You don't want to give up a dunk to Kleba.
Listen, they're bad, man.
Down 15.
All right, So can you not see them, Dan? If I took your VIP, you can't see.
Oh.
Okay, so I'll switch back to the local broadcast because
just in case.
Yeah. If anyone can't see the game, let us know. We can resolve that for you. Ooh, that's about as bad of a turnover you're ever going to see.
Yep. It's not looking good for the Lakers.
For Dan's guy, LeBron James. Not my guy.
Dan gets to claim LeBron. That's pretty
except for
prestigious. Oh my goodness.
Dan's guy. He claims LeBron. No, what did he he had some LeBron slander. Do you remember his LeBron slander? He had some LeBron slander recently.
I think I remember. I don't remember what he said, but I think I remember you pointing it out.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about it. Oh, Dinwiddie against LeBron.
Oh.
Not being able to score there.
Oh, okay. Karras at the end of the quarter is better than LeBron. Yeah, I remember that.
Not being able to take Dinwiddie there. Don't like that.
Yeah, he got too far under the basket. Did you guys say that Austin Reeves can't pull off the headband? Is that how that conversation started?
Yeah, he cannot. It's a bad look. It's been a bad LeBron opened up with a very cool
with that awesome dunk.
Yeah, I think the Lakers are cooked.
It's definitely not looking good for them.
No.
Just getting a layup. It's a layup line. See if we can get a good LeBron possession.
It's JJ's fault.
Just oh man. Oh, that was really ugly. I love LeBron throwing a picture perfect pass straight to Max Christie and he just completely whiffs it. To be fair, he did throw a bullet to him, but it's got to
not a lot of good basketball being played tonight.
No. Okay, Dorian Finney-Smith trying.
And he said the trade was bad. Himself. He said.
Who said the trade was bad?
You, of course.
I don't think I said that. I like the trade. Yeah, no, I definitely said I like the trade. You had to get rid of D'Lo. Although I guess at this point, how much did it matter? All right, LeBron, lead a comeback. You've done it before, right?
Maybe.
I probably should have just shot that.
All right, let's see what your Suns are doing.
Yeah, they're on the comeback, I'm sure. Sure of it.
Uh-oh.
LaMelo Ball had a pretty bad game against
when the Cavs. Home announcers when your team's announcers are saying we're still in it, you know that you are in fact not still in it.
Booker and KD have combined for 58 points in this game. And they're down by double digits to the Charlotte Hornets. So that's not really ideal. Booker has 37. Durant has 21. Oh, did he have 32 at the middle of the third? I didn't even notice. So it's been a while since
you're not supposed to say that. Supposed to say, yeah, well,
we switch around broadcast. You know, sometimes I miss things. LaMelo looks like he's having a better game here. Well, it was good for the All-Star agenda that he sucked against Darius Garland.
It's easy to have a good game against the Suns.
It is true. It's a lot easier.
It's pretty easy. I mean, that was the worst, not the worst closeout I've ever seen. That was just a really bad closeout from Plumlee.
Well, the Rockets came back to beat the Wizards pretty handily, 135-112.
Yeah.
Timberwolves and Pelicans are tied at halftime. Hawks Jazz just started. Yeah, you're right. Not too much going around the association right now.
Some bad games.
Check these box scores. Anthony Edwards has 21 at the half. So there's that, I guess.
The
Lakers Mavs going into the fourth here.
Big fan of the fourth quarter hype video that our Dallas Mavericks play. Yeah. It's like the fifth time I've seen it. I was
gonna say
hope they have the drunk guy from last time who was really hyped.
Is he still there? He never left?
Yeah, he was the only guy who was really into it. It's the fourth quarter, guys. Yeah.
At least this time they're up by what, like 8 points?
Don't have the same drunk guy.
They got a new drunk guy. 2 drinks in his hands.
But not really energizing the crowd.
Just
looks pretty dead. The hype video didn't work. There was no hype.
Yeah, it's that's never good to see.
No.
Do you see the ticket prices for the Cavs game tomorrow?
Yeah. I don't have to pay them, so I don't.
People people are excited, man.
People want to let them know.
The cheapest tickets are $57. That was, a few hours ago, so I don't know what it is now, but the lower level seats are like 900, 1,000, 500, 500, 700.
I think people paid too much for like lower level tickets.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel like unless you're like right on the floor, there's not a huge difference between being in the upper level, just experiencing the game.
Yeah. If you can, I've been all the way up as high as you can go, and that's definitely not a great seat. But if you can get if you're second level, but closer to the balcony area, not too many rows up, it's honestly a pretty great seat.
I think row 7, I think that's a great row. And the second level, row 7, between row 7 and 12.
Yeah,
that's good.
You're basically getting the broadcast angle. You'd be looking at. This is what you'd be looking at essentially right now if you were in that row.
I mean, this is more like the club.
A little farther up. Yeah, a little farther up.
It's good. It's worth it. So don't pay the expensive prices. Just get into building.
Yeah. The best thing is to try and not be behind. You don't want to be behind one of the baskets. To me, that's not always great. You want to try to get center court as close as you can.
I think in the corner is good.
Yeah. As long as you're not behind it.
Yeah.
Dalton Connect, making it happen. I'm going to close this door again. I was going to say, let's see if the Lakers can get any sort of life, getting some stops, but not right there. All right, LeBron, nice drive and kick, and there you go, Dorian Finney-Smith.
Pressing LeBron makes sense. Picking him up full court because there's nobody else who can dribble on the court right now, So it's put out their offense and make the run. Just seems like it just makes sense. You're relying a lot on Reeves and LeBron, and that's tough.
Yeah, that shot that just bounced in hurts. Lakers really need to get some stops here. Oh man. He got it back. That was a good dive right there. 40-year-old LeBron, first to the floor.
Bang.
Ends in a 3-pointer. Connect 4. Who would have thought the lineup with 2 legit shooters around LeBron is actually doing pretty well?
I mean,
they're doing okay.
Don't want to overstate it.
Oh, that's killer right there.
That's tough.
You let Klay Thompson turn you around at the elbow and bury it.
Yeah, don't like that.
Here we go. Get him back, LeBron. Get him back.
Okay.
Took that one personal.
All
right, they're staying in it. They're staying in it. They got to get a stop, though. They haven't gotten a stop the last 3 trips down.
Well,
back and forth
scoring. I have news for you about these Los Angeles Lakers.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Mavericks aren't exactly loaded with offensive talent out there, but it looks like it.
Yeah, well, when you don't have this team is so reliant on AD for any kind of interior defense.
Any defense, yeah. Yeah, that's tough. The Lakers have scored the last 3-4 trips down, and they're down even worse than they were before. Down 12. Yeah, and then one there would have been huge. It is good that Max Strus is one of the few Miami guys to really break that curse of, Gabe Vincent overperformed. Someone bought in on him. Hasn't really been that good. Hassan Whiteside, same thing. Josh Richardson. There's a long line of Miami Heat players who have fallen into that, have caused teams to fall into that trap. Max Strus actually, I would say, got better when he came to Cleveland.
Yeah, Max Strus is good. Just can't shoot. We've been over it.
Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent's he's a good shooter. He's not he's no Connect 4.
Okay. We have a little
Gabe's a solid shooter too.
8-point game. Maybe there's something here. Maybe. Possibly. It's possible.
There we go. Stop to look at the rim at the cost of a Clay 3, but it is 2025.
Listen,
don't know what Jackson Hayes is doing. Jackson Hayes spent that entire possession off the screen. At some point you might want to realize you're the only big man on the floor. Maybe you should get back into the play. But that's why the Lakers are what they are.
We know it's a fake comeback, but we just want something entertaining right now to talk about.
Got to buy into it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't afford to be. I wouldn't even say this Lakers team is less talented than what Dallas has on the floor, but you can't be less talented and put in less effort. Just not going to work for you. They got lucky right there, too. That Longhorns guy is still there. That's the same fan that was there for the Cavs game, I think. Yeah. He's still there wearing the same hoodie from last week.
Gotta let him know. Hopefully I can give Jared Allen the horns down tomorrow.
LeBron in his bag right there.
How do you think Jared would react if I just walked up to him and said horns down?
He's too nice.
He'd be like, just laugh.
Yeah, I think he would just laugh. He's too kind.
He might not even know what that's in reference to.
Maybe not.
Why are you doing that? What's wrong with Texas right now? So,
he would think you're just attacking him personally.
Yeah.
Apollo is circling the chair.
That's fine. It's
no squeaker, which is good.
I feel like this has been a long game, so that's fine.
It has felt like a long game. Let's see, how long have we been streaming?
It's only been 2 hours, so
okay. No, so it's been standard. There hasn't been much entertaining basketball. That's why.
I was really excited when LeBron came on and had that dunk. I was like, okay, we're gonna get some good basketball.
Start off strong. Yeah, not a great slate of matchups tonight. They saved the best one for tomorrow.
Spilled water all over myself. Like I'm an idiot who doesn't know how to drink water.
It happens to the best of us. The games tomorrow, other than the obvious one, are there any good ones going on? We got Spurs Bucks could always be fun. Giannis and Wemby is fun there, but outside of that, the games aren't all that great.
I mean, the two best teams are playing. So
yeah, that's the obvious one.
No,
but me and Corey will be streaming that one tomorrow.
The second half of the doubleheader.
I'm guessing it's got to be Spurs Bucks. I'm trying to see. Is that the one on? Yeah, that's the one on ESPN. So Spurs Bucks.
No, that's who they're playing on Thursday. I'm saying on ESPN.
The ESPN doubleheader. It's Cavs Thunder and then Spurs Bucks.
Okay, yeah.
Wednesday.
Sorry,
yeah.
Dan said it was the Raptors.
Oh,
so
Thursday the Cavs play the Raptors.
Sorry, Tony just doesn't listen.
Maybe I wasn't listening. I don't know. I was looking at all the matchups. Maybe I miscommunicated something.
No.
But anyways, me and Corey will be doing Cavs Thunder tomorrow on the playback stream. On Thursday, I believe me and Corey again will be doing Cavs Raptors. And then on Friday, I plan on streaming a game, but Google stopped showing me the schedule. So what game was I going to do?
Some counter programming for anybody who doesn't want to watch the Ohio State Texas game or celebrate my birthday.
Bad timing there. So, Thunder Knicks is what I was going to watch on Friday during Jackson's birthday celebration. That's at 7:30. So if you get bored of Ohio State, I don't know what time they play, but feel free to jump in. Okay, great timing there.
Yeah, but their games last 5 hours.
Yeah. So if you get bored, feel free to come over, hang out. We'll be watching New York versus OKC. Could be a fun matchup. Hopefully, OKC will be looking to bounce back from a one-game skid, as we are all hoping.
Listen,
but that's all we got planned for the week.
If you don't tell people when your birthday is, who's going to know? So you have to be a self-promoter.
It is true. You got to let people know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the playback schedule for the week. I don't think there's anything scheduled for Saturday. And then Sunday, the Cavs play the Pacers. I will be doing that stream. Maybe a Junkyard Pod on Saturday. Stay tuned.
Potentially.
Oh my God, Apollo just decided to barge right through and move the whole table. Okay, he's laying down under there. I will be making an appearance on if anyone knows Zach NBA on Twitter, he just started his Cavs podcast. I think he's got 3 episodes up so far. One of them with Fear the Fro on there. And I went ahead and made an appearance. That episode goes up on Thursday. I
was about to say, you don't get the Bob treatment. You're not
I wasn't the first guest, but I am the second one. Nice. So that'll be fun. That goes up Thursday. We had a good conversation there. So it's a pretty good podcast. You guys should check it out. I'll send a link in right now to the chat so you can see it. Cavs community's got a lot of people creating content, whether it's podcasters, bloggers, whoever, and the community's really thriving right now. So make sure you check this out. Plug in the channel right now so you can see. That episode will go up Thursday. I also told him Jackson would probably love to be a guest sometime because he's looking for guests. So I went ahead and threw you in there if you ever want to join him.
Could have thrown Corey in there.
I could have thrown Corey in there. Should have. Well, it's not too late. I still can. So yeah, he's looking for Cavs guests, Cavs content. So doing a great job.
That's Dan's contact info.
I should have. Yeah, I mean, I still can. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not over.
Dan, this is your chance. Don't give him B. Gonzalez's contact info because he's an idiot.
I'm not getting involved in whatever you two got going on here. I'm gonna leave you to it.
The Bulls have a
fun week for streaming. That's true. D-Rose Day. Who did they beat on that? Didn't they beat a good team that day too?
I beat the Knicks.
Yeah. I thought. I was gonna say. I thought they either beat the Knicks or the
Gotta
Bucks.
have Thibs there.
Yeah. Cavs better watch their backs. So, Chicago's been better than I would have thought, but
no.
You got to assume they're gonna bottom out.
Do not indulge him. Do not indulge him.
They have to trade everyone on that team soon, right?
Okay. Speaking of that game, did you see Kobe White?
I did see that. Yes,
you did see that. Okay,
he dunked on Victor Wembanyama.
That was sick. It was nasty.
Greatest moment of 2025. It reminded me of when Colin Sexton dunked on Wendell Carter Jr. It's like the same. It
reminded me when Colin Sexton blocked Zion Williamson, and I said,
"I was at that game.
Fraud." I was at that game too. Wow!
No way! Wow! Who would have thought?
Small world.
I'm sure we've probably been to a couple of Cavs games at the same time and didn't know. I was at the game when Sexton dunked on Wendell Carter Jr. That was great. That was a great moment.
That was great. That was when the Cavs were so bad. Do you remember they used to do like a monthly pass?
Yeah, I used to have that. Yeah,
I had that.
It was cheap too. It was like the price of Netflix.
It was like $45. I was like $45.
Yeah, it was more expensive than Netflix, but it was pretty cheap.
I think it was like $45 for a month of like lower level tickets or something like that.
Yeah, you get like every home game.
And I went. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, so we definitely went to a lot of because I was going that year to most of the games. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I mean, then, it was fun, but the games weren't exactly the best games.
It was so like demoralizing because I'd have to like leave work and then like go to the games, and you're just like, I don't want to see them lose by 20 again.
We left a lot of games like midway through the fourth quarter. Sometimes as early as like the 8-minute mark because you're like, we might as well get ahead of traffic. They're down 30. Zion's back. When are they playing? Are they playing tonight?
They're playing.
Wait,
now.
Is Zion playing right now? Oh yeah, they're playing the Timberwolves. Yeah.
Well, I know they're playing, but I've never wanted to say we should put on the New Orleans.
Wait, when did Zion come back? Is this his debut?
I didn't know he was still an NBA player.
Is this the first game he's played this year? Yeah, we might as well switch over here. Zion to the Cavs. No, that's a move that
I don't. Don't indulge this man. Listen, do not indulge him. Don't talk to him.
Bad as we were,
ignore him
at this time. We were like 20-15 this time last year. If the vibes were that bad, that's something I would be more willing to listen to. Right now, that's a non-starter discussion for me.
He's not a serious person. Everybody in the chat, do not.
So this is Zion's debut today. I had no idea this man was back.
He's getting you. I can't believe it.
Wait, no, he's played 6 games this year?
Yeah, he played at the
Zion
beginning
is
of the year.
an anomaly. I've never...
Right? Pretty sure he played at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, he did. I'm pulling it up right now. He played... he missed the first game, played the next 5, missed 2 games, played 1. Oh, he played against Cleveland. I don't even remember him.
I think I did a solo.
He had 29 points. I don't remember that at all.
That was the game that Donovan Mitchell had he scored a bunch of points.
He went off against. I remember the game. I don't remember Zion being out there, but I mean, he had a good game too. Oh,
this is why you can't take Tony's basketball take seriously.
All right. I really don't remember Zion in that game, really. But that was a great performance down the stretch from Mitchell. I do remember that. He had like 2 crazy end ones. We just kind of threw it up. I would like to see Zion get traded. That'd be interesting. Mix up the NBA a little bit. I don't know if he ends up on a team that has an actual chance at contending. But I would like to see him get on first off, I would like to see him just be on the floor consistently.
I mean, he wasn't even in the NBA then.
Yeah, it was in Duke.
I think Obama was at that game.
He was.
That may be the last college basketball game I watched, as well.
All right, the door is quickly closing on LA. They can't really afford much right here.
Can the door quickly close if it was never open? Dan told us.
Maybe worth mentioning. All right. Still alive. Still breathing.
They're not.
Save me, Austin Reeves.
This is like, do you understand how mad I was at you during that like Hawks game when you were like,
dude, they
could within reach.
We've seen the Cavs score 16 points in like a 3-minute stretch before. I think they were down like 12 with 3 minutes left. Like you could win that game still. I'm not saying it's likely, but anyways, here we go. Lakers, you got to put something on the board this possession.
Tony, are you excited about the Golf TGL League on ESPN right now?
No.
Tiger's on TV talking. He's not playing, which would be more exciting.
We should watch that instead because they just gave up a layup or a dunk. That'll do it, I think.
I could, we could get past some of the streaming thing. I could face my camera at the thing.
I mean, whatever you think works. Yeah, that's just bad defense, man. Really, really embarrassing for the Lakers. Good showing for the Mavericks, I guess. Guys stepping up when you need it.
They're playing a hole called Boomerang right now.
Exciting stuff.
Got to shape the ball left to right.
Jackson's lost faith in this Lakers comeback, I guess.
Listen, there is no comeback.
No,
Dan already told us.
It's
over.
Clearly
it's
over.
Over. Thank you. Yeah, I never had any. Well, thank you for joining us. Want to say that. Thank you for joining us. I'm not going to say it was a good game. I will say we had fun talking in the chat. I think we peaked. We peaked when you couldn't hear me and LeBron was dunking on people. And we were having a discussion about white people wearing headbands. And then it was all downhill from there, honestly. But, we can't control the basketball.
White people with headbands are 0-1 on the night.
Yeah. We had some talk. We had some good Cavs Thunder discussion. So you got your money's worth there. Yeah.
If you came here for the Cavs Thunder preview, we did good.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys sticking with us through relatively uneventful night of basketball.
If you're like Ricky Fowler, you don't need to shape it left to right because you don't hit it far enough for that to matter. So just to, just giving you some commentary.
Look at Austin Reeves giving us some Showtime Lakers. The around the back down 14. Yeah,
like the home, not the home team, but the Lakers announcer saying he would have been better served going to the rim.
Yeah, he's trying to get back some of that aura that he lost with the headband.
Apparently,
didn't work.
Brad is saying that Darius has graduated to the best point guard in the league. I'm not sure.
I saw that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I don't even know what Darius has been good, but it's just funny that he graduated just kind of out of nowhere. He didn't even put up a 30-point game or anything. Brad was just it's time. He crowned him now.
I haven't seen
Alexander's in the middle of a 15-game win streak, MVP season. I think Darius is the best point guard in the NBA.
I mean, I don't think Brad was on the call for any of the. I don't think Brad was on the call for either of the Thunder games last year. So, because they were both in the beginning of the year. Honestly, it's gonna be the first time he's seen Shai Gilgeous-Alexander play basketball.
It might be. It might really be the first time. So
that's something to watch for.
The Lakers are getting buried now.
Oh, if he says at any point in the game, if he says this SGA guy's really good, that means that
he's gonna say it.
That means I owe you an apology. I was unfamiliar with your game.
I can hear him saying those exact words after Shai gets an N1
Like,
man, this
pretty
SGA
good.
guy is really good.
Yeah.
I can see why the Thunder are winning so many games. I haven't seen any of their games yet, but I can see why now.
Yeah. Makes sense to me, man.
Yeah, you gotta love Brad. I don't know. He's special.
He is one of one.
It's tough to see LeBron go out like this.
I mean, this isn't the last game he's ever going to play.
Could be. No, but it's tough. It's tough to see him last few years of his career just being wasted. He's gotten all.
If he wanted to do something about it, he would have come to Cleveland. You know, this was his choice. He wants to do this. This is what he wants to do.
He dug his grave.
Yeah, it's not a grave if he wants to do it. Like, he's hanging out, not making movies as good as Trainwreck, you know, but doing other LA things. I guess.
Is that Bronny?
Is that Bronny?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got some Bronny minutes.
It's always good when your garbage time lineup is basically the same lineup you were already running, just with Bronny out there instead.
I mean, you're throwing a second LeBron James out there. Why would you not?
It's true. The first LeBron didn't work. Let's see if we can mix things up with the second one.
I mean, I would stick, if I had two guys named LeBron James on my team, I'd say, you know what?
I would double up on
Let's
the
just give it a
LeBron.
try. I've always said the Cavs could use a second LeBron James.
Bronny getting beat off the dribble right there is tough. He's been playing pretty good in the G League, though, I've heard.
Yeah.
I haven't watched. Ooh, okay.
Oh.
Shaking him up a little bit. Give it back to him. Come on. This is the last possession they're going to have.
Man, that was a bad possession.
All right. Bronny time is over.
We
got to see him dribble about 4 or 5 times.
That's a nice shake.
Efficiency is terrible. Yeah. I mean, he's going to have an uphill battle as far as proving himself. I don't have too much of a take on his on-court stuff because I just haven't watched him enough, but I'm rooting for him.
Got to lock into the South Bay Lakers. What are you doing with your life?
I don't know why I haven't made more time for them, Should have been a priority. All right, so the Lakers get embarrassed to a team that they definitely should have beat. But thank you to everyone who joined us for this embarrassment of a loss. If you were rooting for the Lakers, that is. I don't think many people here are Lakers fans anyway, so it's probably okay.
Yeah, we're all fine. Tomorrow's a big day. Get some sleep, everybody.
Yeah,
and be back.
Make sure you get a good breakfast.
Yeah,
make sure the 7:00 tip off. Me and Corey will be live. Jackson will be on the ground doing the good reporting. We'll have a bunch of stuff on Fear the Sword after the game.
Hopefully,
so definitely pay attention to
article tomorrow. Please check it out. I think it's pretty decent.
Yes.
So
it's pretty good. I've seen it myself.
Ty Jerome features in it, so it's a little tease. I guess
Always good.
Yeah.
It's always good when you get a Ty Jerome quote.
Yeah, I didn't even ask him. He just kind of gave it to me.
He just interjected.
Yeah.
He saw another 30.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it when I ask him questions, but if I ask Dean Wade questions, then he wants to answer. So, anyways,
you got it.
So, all right. See you guys next time.
Yes, I will see you tomorrow. Everyone, go Cavs. Let's get this dub against OKC.